Helima, before we get to Iran specifically, OPEC Plus, do you expect them to take their foot off that cut gas pedal, or is another potential price war coming?
I mean, I don't think another potential price war is coming. What it looks like is they're going to taper on time. So what we're looking at is they're currently cutting by about 9.6 million barrels a day. They're expected to basically ease that by about 2 million barrels a day. So the cut will now become a 7.7 million barrel a day cut. One of the things that the Saudis have been particularly focused on, the Saudi oil minister's Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz, is getting compliance in a better place. And they've actually made significant progress with countries like Iraq, Nigeria. They've gotten the Angolans now to go along. And so I think they believe that compliance is in a place where they can basically start putting the barrels back on the market. But the key questions are, is the market strong enough to have more barrels on the market? Will we potentially see a second wave of COVID-19 that actually dampens demand? What is going to happen with Libyan production? So I think that OPEC is pretty unified at the moment, but the question is, can the market really absorb all those barrels? I think they believe that the market's set up to do so, but time will tell.
What do you believe?
I mean, I think if you look at the improving demand picture, I think we are seeing people are starting to drive again. But there is a concern, again, about what happens with this second wave. We're not seeing reimposition of lockdown conditions, but that would be something to watch for. Do we start seeing states reimpose stay-at-home restrictions? We're not seeing that yet. And again, we are seeing a significant improvement in demand. But that is the sort of dark cloud hanging over the market. We just don't know what's going to happen in the fall.
Yeah, you look at things like the Apple Mobility and TomTom indexes, these high-frequency indicators we started looking at back in early March, and many of them are not at normal, but close-ish to normal, Helima. But let's talk about Iran. You wrote about it as elegantly as you always do over the weekend, this shadow war, some bombings that are happening. What is this a civil war that is potentially happening in Iran, or are these outside influences?
No, I don't think it's a civil war. I think the type of attacks that we've seen, I mean, we've seen spectacular attacks on key Iranian military and nuclear infrastructure. We had an attack that happened, just about over 10 days ago, where we had significant damage to the major facility where they produce centrifuges for the nuclear devices, potentially setting back that program by up to a year. We've had the mysterious explosion at a facility where they produce ballistic missiles. And all of this is leading to speculation that a neighboring country, Israel, potentially with the blessing of the United States, is using this window of opportunity to do significant damage to the Iranian nuclear facilities, believing that the Iranians are either too weak or do not have an incentive right now to respond. And the key question is, as we go into the summer, as we go into the US elections, is there a tripwire where something happens where the Iranian leadership essentially says, enough with restraint? The Iranians have a lot on the line. I mean, if Biden becomes president, they would be looking at potential sanctions relief and being able to put more barrels on the market, potentially bringing back up to 1 million barrels. The UN arms embargo is expiring in October, so Iran should be able to purchase weapons. So potentially, they have a lot of reasons not to respond to these type of attacks, but they are doing significant damage to their nuclear capabilities, and there are reports that they're starting to unnerve the Iranian leadership.